but there's still plenty of minimum wage jobs. They're still out there, and we have to take them because you have to do something. Minimum wage is better than nothing, even though it's not enough to pay the bills. So you need at least two or three. Hey guys, so yeah, yesterday's video. I put it up last night talking about how the economy sucks right now and there's no jobs except for minimum wage jobs. And I believe we're in a recession. And guess what? So do all of you. So thank you. I'm not alone in this. 99.9%. I think there was one person that said they just thought things were tough, but we're not actually in a recession. A big portion of you said that we're in a depression, not just a recession. It's gone past that. This has been happening for a while. So what's the point of all that? Well, for one, misery likes company. But I was beginning to think, is it just me? Am I just that big of a screw up that I'm just, mismanaging things and everybody else is doing fine? And, because I keep hearing we're not in a recession. This isn't a recession. Things are good. The numbers are good. And I'm like, where are they getting their numbers? Because I'm looking around and I'm not seeing the same thing that they're telling us is happening out there. They were always like, everything's, rainbows and sunshine and, everything's great. And like I said, if you look around, the stores are full, the parking lots are full, the restaurants are full. And I was like, dang, all these other people got, all this expendable cash. They're out there blowing it. Well, no, they're not. Most of them are using credit cards. Because like I've repeated, credit card use is at an all-time high. Credit card debt is just like, people are using credit card. Credit cards used to be an emergency fund for most people. You didn't use it unless you absolutely had to. Now people are just swiping it right and left. And they're using it for, going out to eat, going to Starbucks. And they're paying, 20-something% interest on that. And a lot of them have no intention of paying for it. A lot of them are just going to file bankruptcy. I don't know what's going to happen when that hits the fan, and that's coming. That's where I think it's going to be the biggest crisis, because they're saying that's what's going to happen now. This isn't just my opinion, by the way. This is what I'm reading, and I'm listening to other channels in the news, and they're all saying that it's right there. That's where we're at. And it says a lot about the economy when people can't even afford to buy groceries, that's what they have to use their credit cards for, that emergency fund. They're using that to feed their family because that's where we're at. And the comments are gold. Read the comments. You guys really know what you're talking about. Some of you have explained it a little more deeply for me, even that I didn't realize this has started way back when. And even like the depression of the 1920s, the reason that we're not seeing that, and that's why we don't think it's like that, because look around, nobody's starving and people are still out there, is because we have all these programs now that we didn't have back then. We have Section 8 housing and EBT and Medicaid and all these different programs that do help. And so it kind of puts a Band-Aid on it. There is some help. Imagine if we didn't have any of that. Imagine if we didn't have any government assisted programs right now. Well, hello, Jazz. You're a little late. Should have been here a few minutes ago. But yeah, imagine like it was then you really see it for what it is. But, because we have all these programs, people are like, okay, people are still eating or whatever. But really, take a look around. Talk to your friends and family. There are a few of you that are doing okay. And even we're a 2-income household, and, we've paid our debts down, excuse me. Every time you get around, I get cat hair. But, so yeah, I feel like we're more fortunate, and there's a lot of people in the same situation as me. We're the older people that were able to, buy a home and maybe save some money for retirement. So we're doing okay. But there's a lot of people, no, there's a lot of people that aren't. And they are living paycheck to paycheck. And they're raising families during this time. They're the ones that are struggling. They're the ones that are really having a difficult time. And those were the ones that were commenting. So yeah, even if you're doing well and maybe your group is, expand your horizons a little bit. Talk to people outside of your group. Go online, read the comments and stuff, and you'll see there are a lot of people out there that are struggling right now. And that's not normal. And these are people that are working. This isn't just, people that are sitting at home. These are are families where they're both working and sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. And they're still struggling to make it. I can only imagine who has it the toughest. It's got to be the single older people that are trying to survive, that aren't on Social Security just yet. They're still working because they're pushing all us older folks out of the job market. They're getting rid of us as soon as they can. So it's really scary for them. At least if you're younger, I feel like you're more hireable. But for what? What's out there. Now, I was complaining about all the jobs being minimum wage jobs, and people are saying, well, it's not like that where they're at, in the South and I guess back East. You guys are more fortunate. But I'm telling you, here in California, there are no good paying jobs. People said, oh no, there's still good paying jobs. I said, well, where? Tell me where. And nobody's commented back on that. But the good paying jobs that are here, people have them. They're not giving them up. They're holding on to them. So the only jobs that are available are the jobs that pay crap, because everybody's in line for those good jobs, because there's so many people out of work. We're all applying. I can't even tell you how many jobs I've applied to and sent resumes to, and I'm just one of millions. There's so many of us because all these people are getting laid off from these different departments and different programs and stuff. We're all flooding the job market right now, and all fighting for the same jobs. So there's not that many of them, but there's still plenty of minimum wage jobs. They're still out there, and we have to take them because you have to do something. Minimum wage is better than nothing, even though it's not enough to pay the bills. So you need at least 2 or 3. And, hopefully you're in a relationship where you both can work, but it's crazy. And like I said, the government is never going to come out and admit to it, because it just would create panic, because actually some people truly believe things are okay because the government hasn't admitted to it yet. So they believe that. And I get it. They need that, because I've had people say, it's just too scary. The doom and gloom freaks them out, and they can't even think about it. And I get it. I do. And I don't want to add to your anxiety, but I've become a realist in my old age, maybe cynical, but so don't give up, but do what you got to do. It's tough, and it's very competitive, but I think, you just have to have the right mindset. And it's easy for me to say that. It's easy for me to tell you to do that. That's bullcrap. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be saying that, because like I said, I'm in a position where we have saved money. We have our home. There's 2 of us. So yeah, things are a lot different for me. How dare I even say that? I don't even know how hard it must be for some people out there. It's got to be tough. I would be scared to death too. If I was single and trying to do this on my own, and still like in debt, like most people are, especially when you're younger, you have, car payments. And I do still have a car payment. I still owe a couple thousand, but I mean, I watched that, I should remember his name. I just keep calling him the walkie-talkie guy in Florida. He did a show on car payments, and so did Jack Morgan. And it was mind-blowing what some people are paying for cars, what their car payments are today. And it more than a mortgage. And they're paying for 7, 8 years. It used to be a 4-year loan, but not anymore. So can you imagine having that kind of debt, because you got to have a car. Unless you live in a city where you can walk or take public transportation. Up here, that's not possible. I live out in the boonies. It would take hours to get to a job. But so yeah, if you have a car payment, then you've got to have insurance on that, and just all the other bills that go along, with being in this world today. Everybody has to have a cell phone. That's a given. That's not a luxury. You need that for jobs. They make you have that. So, you've got your cell phone, and you have to have internet. And I'm not even talking about any luxuries. I'm just talking about your basics. And then if you do have a degree, if you went to school, more than likely you have student loans. So even young people especially, are probably in more debt than anybody, because they're just starting out. They had high hopes. They worked hard. They got their degree. They're going to make lots of money. So they go out and they get, a nice car to show for their efforts, and, and they get in debt. They've got credit cards. Maybe they had to live on them while they were in school. And so they're maxed already up to here. And then everything just dropped. And so now here they are in, this maximum amount of debt, and there is no, high paying job, even if they have their degree. So now they are working minimum wage, and if they're fortunate, they can move back home with their parents. But not everybody has that option. So yeah, we're going to see more and more people maybe having to file for bankruptcy, and all of these things just impact the economy, and things just get worse and worse. So like I said, I'm fortunate, so I'm not going to preach about that, because it's not fair for people that are really having a tough time. And it's what is crazy to me, because my daughter's a social worker, so I know what's going on. And she said it's so heartbreaking to see people come in and they are literally like $20 over. They make $20 too much to qualify for any kind of programs or EBT or whatever. And it's like, oh, that's just, and medical debt. Oh my God, we're seeing so much medical debt, and that can annihilate a person. And especially nowadays when your credit is crucial, right away, these young kids are starting out with just ruined credit, and now they've got to work on building it up and paying off all these loans. And oh my God, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. But I do think that it's going to have to turn around. There has to be change. It cannot continue this way. Do you believe that? Do you think that it can just get worse? Maybe that's the Pollyanna sunshine in me. I have hope that this is going to be a good thing. That, we've talked for years, we need change, and I'm hoping that this is the time we're going to get some changes, and that will make things better. But don't give up just yet. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, screw it. It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm never going to have good credit. I'm never going to be able to save to buy a house. The American dream has long been dead. And so a lot of people are thinking, what's the point? And that's the saddest thing of all. I want to believe that there's hope for them. I'm old, and like I said, we're okay. Even if worse comes to worse, I still think we'll be okay. But I don't know what some of these younger people, what's going to happen to them. Something's got to give. Like I said, I feel like we've been in a recession for a while, and I feel like it's gotten progressively worse and can get worse. But I'm inclined to believe some of these other people whose comments I've read, that maybe this is beyond a recession. How long has it been going on? A lot of people believe it was happening before the lockdown, and I can see that. But I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I don't understand the economy, to be honest with you. I'm just giving you my observations. I see so many friends losing their jobs and fighting to get a new job, and the new job pays a quarter of what they were making previously. And I see people spending all the money that they had saved up for Social Security for their old age to supplement their Social Security, having to live off of that. Um, yeah, I'm seeing so many people struggle right now, and I'd hate to think it's going to get much worse for them, because it could. People that are already living on a shoestring, and then they have people saying, well, this is the time to save money. What money? They're not even, they don't even have enough to pay their bills now, and they're supposed to put something away, what, a quarter? Yeah, I hate that nonsense. It's like that's the old mindset, and it did work at one time, but it doesn't apply now. Unless you are fortunate and you have a decent job, then yeah, carry on, work towards that. But for the rest of you that are barely making it, that's just nonsense. Telling you to put money aside or invest in the stock market. That's just, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So anyway, thank you for those of you that commented on my last video. I do appreciate hearing from you guys, because I learn a lot. Because I come on here, I'm just spouting my own observations, and I don't know anything about anything. I just know what I see. So I appreciate it when you guys school me on some of these things, what's going on, because I don't watch the news. I had to stop. As depressing as I am, I thought the news was even worse. It was like, I don't want to know. But I mean, it's inevitable. We can just see it. You don't even have to watch the news. But I don't want to be spoon-fed, what they want me to believe. Like I said, they're telling us that no, we're not in a recession. It's like, obviously I'm not alone. Everybody else feels the same way I do. It's almost comedy, but it's not. It's not funny. It's sad. So yeah, I'm going to let you go on that note. I really didn't bring much to the table today. I wanted to just thank you guys, because I appreciated hearing from you. It reinforced what I already believed, because like I said, I was beginning to think, is it just me? Am I just a big failure and I'm just doing things wrong and everybody else is working and getting ahead? And no. And like, misery likes company. So anyway, carry on. Thank you guys. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in the next video.